Welcome to Talker and Riyadh, the Wheel of Time showcast. I am your host, Joe Perry, here with my co-hosts, Jen Isgro and Tom Kokoza. How you feeling tonight, Jen?
I'm feeling good. It's Tuesday, so it's a special day for the week. But I'm just happy to be here.
One to seven, folks.
Talking about news.
If you say
I wanted to make an M. Bison reference, but I wasn't sure how to get it in. For me, it was Tuesday. Yeah, for you, it's Monday, but for us, it's Tuesday. So happy to be talking about news again tonight.
Yeah, and we apologize if any news happens between now and when this episode drops. You're just going to have to wait for us to talk about it. So, apologies up front. How's it going with you, Tom?
It's going well, Joe. It is Tuesday. It's about 9:12 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday. And I'm going to take the opportunity at this moment.
Don't say
the Mets are winning 6-1 in the first game of the Subway Series. Now, we know it's the Mets and it's the Yankees, so this game could easily end 10-6, Yanks winning. But as of this moment, I'm feeling well. This should be a fun little show for us. We spent the last couple of weeks, right, doing our main character countdown, so we're just going to try and catch up on some news we missed. Right?
Yeah, we got some good news to get into that we didn't get to talk about. Well, we didn't want to talk about because we wanted to get into that character countdown, and we wanted to focus all of our attention on there. And this wasn't anything earth-shattering, I think, but there was some interesting things that were posted today on social media that I thought were fun. But we're going to take it back. We're going back, jumping in our hot tub time machines to June 9th, when a book consultant for the show, Sarah Nakamura, posted on Twitter, or X if you prefer, talking about how she's going to be moving to Atlanta. So I believe they lived in Los Angeles, but she's going to be moving to Atlanta for her son's got into some school there, but she also has friends and family in the area. But one thing that I wanted to point out in this message that she sent was, and I'll quote it, "Prague has been amazing to me, and I'll miss it as soon as I say goodbye, but look forward to seeing her again soon." So does that mean, okay, now we're going to dig into like what this means and her choice of words. And it always makes me wonder, like, if she and like Rafe and all of them like are very carefully choosing their words, or they're just like the rest of us and kind of just blurt out whatever's on her mind. But she says, "I'll miss it as soon as I say goodbye." So that means, I guess, at the time she was writing this, she was still in Prague.
Yeah, I think that's how I read it.
Okay. And then, but look forward to seeing her again soon. So does this mean she's confident that season 4 is going to be greenlit, or is she just saying like, "Oh, I hope I get to come back here for season 4"?
I don't think she could say, "I hope." I don't think she could like definitively say either way. Like, I don't know. Like, look forward to it could be like, "I hope it happens," or "It's happening and I can't wait for it to happen."
Or I hope to visit there just as like
right. Like I'll just come back because I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think if she said, "I hope," that would be an indication that nothing's happening with season 4. And that's too cut and dry, I think.
She didn't say hope. She said look forward to seeing.
I'm saying if she had said that.
Right. I wonder if I'll ever, know.
Well, that's pretty clear.
That's right.
So what, I don't know. Do you think there's any deeper meaning into this, or this is just her saying, I can't wait to come back here. I hope I get to come back here.
I think that Sarah is very, very cognizant of the fact that hardcore fans of the books and the show follow her and read her posts for meaning.
She also said earlier in there, she said it's bittersweet because next time I head out to a Watt adventure, it'll be on my own, as we promised my son 4 years in uninterrupted high school.
Right. So
What does
I
that
think
mean?
that means that she does plan on continuing to work on what? Like I think
But yes, if they greenlight it, but do you think, obviously if they do, she would continue to work on it, but do you think she has any insight into a continuation of the show, or she's just, to me, I don't think she's giving anything away here.
Okay, I don't think she's giving anything away, but I think the fact that it, like, she's mentioning it without being definitive that it's not like this is the end is meaningful in and of itself.
Okay.
That's how I originally read it.
Fair enough. I'll move on then to June 10th.
Move on.
Yeah, June 10th. I know what's something I forgot to put in here now. I'm going to have to pull it up while we're talking. But anyway, on June 10th, there was another showcase. Variety had their Sony For Your Consideration showcase. Remember, like a few weeks back, we talked about, I think it was the Deadline one. They're getting ready for the Emmys and submitting all of their nominations or pieces of episodes and, what they want to be considered for, which is what I'm going to pull up because that's what I forgot to pull. But anyway, Variety did one. There was a panel or an interview with the Outlander executive producer, Twisted Metal's showrunner and executive producer and production designer. And then the Wheel of Time had executive producer / writer Justine Gilmer, and also Daniel Henney was there. And that panel was focused on adaptations, as both Outlander and Wheel of Time are adaptations of books, and Twisted Metal's an adaptation of a game, video game. So it was really focused around adaptations and adapting something. And there was a quote in here that, I mean, some people might be like, okay, we kind of knew that already, but just another confirmation here. Gilmer said, "Should we be lucky enough to get the end of 8 seasons? What do we want to say?" And that's what we try to do when we adapt these books into something that's different. She's talking about the adaptation. So 8 seasons. Rafe had said that in the past, right? That he wants to have 8 seasons. So it seems like this is really like their target, and like his mapping of the whole show is going to be 8 seasons.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting that we got another piece of like 8 season confirmation. Nothing has changed since then, because I think when we heard Rafe say it, this was like back when either season 1 came out or before season 1 came out, right?
Yeah. It was in the build to season 1. Like, I think the first time he mentioned that might have been in the Entertainment Weekly article that came out with season 1, like prior to that season debuting.
Yeah.
I think and watching. I'll say this. I think that watching the interview and hearing how she says it, and like realizing that there's like an Amazon exec there on the stage with her, like it hits harder watching it live ish, watching it than it does reading it. I think that there's I would say this, watching this and hearing that and hearing the way that they talked about the show, like there's a very definite mindset of the people who are creative on the show of we're going, let's keep going. Like, it wasn't like if we get season 4, it was if we get season 8, if we're lucky enough to do all of them, right? Which I think is a very different mindset.
Okay.
Like, that's not something that like, hey, I don't know how we're doing vibe, that's more like, who knows what'll happen.
Yeah.
16 years from now, we're done.
Oh, no,
Justine also mentioned that she's like the spoiler police on the show. So for her to be able to just say that, it means, it's not that that's a spoiler for the show, but it's like, it's okay to say it wasn't like a mistake letting that out.
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah. It was just,
right. She was busy today, by the way.
Yeah. I just thought it was interesting because, again, we hadn't heard the 8 episodes since a long time, years ago. So I thought it was interesting that nothing's changed. They haven't said, oh, we got to try to do it in 7 seasons. Sorry, 7 seasons, not episodes, or like 9 or 10 seasons. So that's interesting, I thought. So I guess they're still on target and they still feel comfortable to do it all in 8 seasons, which, like you said, might be 14 years from now.
Well, I mean, I think I'm a little because I do think they're speeding up. I think season 3. I think we all think season 3 is going to come out a year and a half after season 2.
Yeah,
maybe not even that much exactly.
We're hoping it's less than that.
Right. So I think that there's hope that the last 6 seasons of the show come out in, what would that be, 11 years as opposed to 18.
Yeah, we'll be in our 50s, so that'll be interesting. Close, that much closer to retirement, though. I'm going to look on the bright side.
Look at the bright side. You'll be able to retire, right? Yeah. That's the hopefully.
Both from the podcast and from my real job.
That's it. Which will come first? That's the question.
I'm going to move on. There was another for your consideration type panel. This one was through Gold Derby, which is an online. It seems to be focused on like race predictions, and I mean like award races. Sorry, yeah. I probably should have said that. So like Emmys and Oscars and things like that. It's all about that. So there was a panel, The Making of the Wheel of Time, which Rafe was on it, along with Sharon Gillam, who's the costume designer, also makeup and hair designer Davina Lamont, and production designer Andrzej Nekvasil, who I will say both.
I think it's Andre.
Andre.
That's how they were pronouncing it. Yeah.
Who I believe was recently on Road to Tarvalon. So you can go check out that on YouTube. And I think Sharon Gillam was also on, but I don't know if that came out yet, on Road to Tarvalon as well. So
yeah, I don't know if I think that the interview happened. I don't think it's been released. And
yeah, yeah. And visual effects supervisor Andy Scrace or Scracey. So did you guys have anything particular about this panel that you wanted to share or discuss?
They talked a lot about the weaving, and Andy talked about how they did the different colors for the weaves now, and thought that was really interesting. And then Sharon talked about the different ajas and the stuff like she's been showing us on her Instagram lately.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other things. The thing that stood out the most to me was like the very end where they started talking about season 3 and how cool it is. And they all got like really giddy and like giggly about it. Yeah. Like if you thought season 2 was good, like, so I was like, wow, I'm like, this is fun. Like to see them all, like they've all just been kind of watching it for the first time, I guess.
Yeah. That in and of itself is really exciting to me, Joe. In the interview, they say they've seen season 3, which means that a lot of the VFX work is done or done enough that they can see what it's going to look like and they can watch the season. Like that is a sign to me that like it's not going to be it's not going to be a production delay that's going to cause this show to be out. It's just going to be a timing of when it's the right time to release it.
Yeah, it almost makes me feel like the show's going to be ready and they're just waiting for their, Amazon's release time that they want to release it in. Like I feel like this is going to be done around the time or before Rings of Power comes out, which is in September or the end of August. I think it might be the last day of August, whatever. Something tells me that the show's going to be ready and they're just going to have to sit on it for months.
Well, I don't actually mind that because that gives them time in case there are delays or they want to make sure that certain, post-production shots or, whatever are done, that they have the ability to do that. And it also says like in the future, that means like we don't need a 2-year turnaround because of the backlog of VFX work that was happening across the industry, right?
Now they could still be working on a lot of the VFX.
Yes,
because they saw some of it. They might have done some set pieces already and they've seen those, but there's still other things they have to do. My consideration that I was thinking about is that what does this mean for season 4, right? Because let's just say they are finished with production by September. Like they're ready to go. Like everything's done.
Yeah.
Maybe they're doing some touch-ups or finishing up music or whatever. Are they just going to sit around for months waiting for it? And remember, the actors stopped filming months ago. So now the actors haven't been doing anything, at least for Wheel of Time, for months and months and months. Like they could start filming season 4 this year by the end of the year.
I think, Joe, that they are. And like, I'll say this is another piece of very circumstantial evidence, but a lot of the way that they talked about when, especially Jen mentioned, when they talked about how excited they are for how season 3 is even better than season 2 in terms of costumes, in terms of hair and makeup, in terms of set design and visual effects, they all said like, and we can't wait to show you like what's next. Like they all put this in the context of we are spending our creative mind and our creative time working on or visualizing what season 4 is going to be, right? They didn't say like, and we're working on it right now, but the way that they put it in context was like, this is a continuum of which season 3 is better than season 2, which was better than season 1, and will not be as good as what season 4 is going to be.
Yeah, we haven't seen any of those posts like on social media about writing or those trips. Remember, Rafe would always go on those trips to visit different places for like inspiration for the set design or just for the story itself. We haven't seen any of that. We know Rafe is supposed to be working on God of War. I don't know what the timeline is for that, but it's possible he's working on that right now. We haven't seen anything, I think, on his social media. He's been very quiet on social media. So
it was Lauren Balfe tagged him a few weeks ago to say like, hey, check your email. I sent you something.
Oh yeah. And Danny's pointing out in chat that Taylor's been posting on social media, which Taylor Napier, who is Rafe's, are they just like boyfriends? I don't even know if they're married or anything.
I don't think they're married.
Significant other, I think, is a fair way to kind of.
So he's been posting, but we don't know where he is at this point. And I think sometimes they're on like some trips in Europe or something like that. I feel like I saw a post when they were in like Italy or something at one point.
Yeah, or Spain. Yeah.
Spain, yeah. Which I think Rafe said, right? Wasn't there a post a few months ago or maybe a month ago about where he was in Spain or Italy and he's like my office or whatever, my other office?
Yeah, one of my favorite places to write from, and that's where Lauren's like, check your email.
Yeah,
like,
but again, we don't know if that's for Wheel of Time or that's for God of War.
Yeah,
I don't know the God of War timeline. What's going on with that? So
I'm not sure. Is Lauren Balfe working on God of War as well?
Oh, I don't know. He might have been just emailing it for something for Wheel of Time, but
right.
And Rafe could have been working on something for God of War. I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of unknowns right now, and I definitely would like to find out more. I would like to know more.
We didn't even get a sizzle reel from season 3 that.
We didn't get a sizzle reel for season 3. So WatCon is coming up in a couple of weeks. There's a potential that we get something. I don't think we get anything for season 3, and maybe we get deleted scenes again from season 2 or something like that. But it'd be
Ingtar scenes.
Yeah, maybe the Ingtar.
I mean, we're the only people who care about that, so they might as well.
That's true. They might as well throw some.
Nobody that just watches the show cares about that.
Yeah, so
give it to us.
I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that we get something at WatCon.
Okay, we will get. I am very confident we will get something at WatCon.
We got something already, guys.
Did we?
We already talked about
That's
this.
True. Yes.
Not Guy Roberts.
Yes, there's a member of the cast who's going to be there. Yeah, true.
Oh, okay. All right.
Something else. That doesn't count because Guy probably had to beat them over the head to let him go. They probably didn't want him to go. He was like,
"Let me out.
Give me that shield again for a second. Let me go to a con."
2023.
All right, you can't. So stop hitting me, please. Yeah, I think we might hear something before the summer's over. Like that's more definitive, whether it's here or it's at New York Comic Con, which is
San Diego Comic Con is coming up. San Diego Comic Con,
right? Yeah, I think that we will. I really feel like there are trying to build up. Well, first of all, I clearly through all these FYC stuff, they're trying to build up Emmy buzz about this show.
Yeah, I have the list here of all of the stuff they're trying to. Yeah, sorry, good segue. So this is all of the categories that was submitted, that the Wheel of Time submitted for to be as part of the nominations, and this is Geek posted this courtesy of one of the WOD Series Discord members, Elnor Sedai.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. So thank you, Elnor, for posting this. So
or Jur?
No, it's Elnor Sedai.
Oh, okay.
So art direction, episode 208, casting, cinematography for episode 208, fantasy sci-fi costumes for 205, directing for 208, which is Sana Hamri, makeup and hairstyling for 208, music for 208, lead actor, Daniel Henney, lead actress, Rosamund Pike, supporting actor, Donald Finn, Marcus Rutherford, Yosha Stradowski.
Supporting actor? Really?
Yeah, supporting
That's
actor.
how they are.
Because they're not really famous.
I don't know. I would direct you to our last episode.
That is true.
Well, it's true. It's a different vibe in Hollywood.
Supporting actress, Madeline Madden and Zoe Robbins. I'm a little bit okay. So
no Kira Coveney. She must be.
No
If
Kira
you watch our
Coveney.
last episode,
no Natasha O'Keefe either. Guest actress in a drama series. I was very surprised not to see Natasha O'Keefe listed here.
Me too.
Sophie Okonedo was listed though.
Yeah.
Picture editing, Chris Barnwell for episode 208. Drama series, sound editing, sound mixing for episode 208. Stunt coordination and performance, and writing for 206 and 208.
I don't think that Natasha O'Keefe can be considered a guest actress.
Well, what about a supporting
She's on
actress?
Yeah, she's on the show. She's not like in.
Well,
one
according
episode.
to our rankings, Natasha O'Keefe and Sophie Okonedo's characters are fairly close together in their.
True.
No, but Sophie Okonedo's in one episode.
She
right?
2 episodes
Two
this
episodes.
season.
This
season, yeah.
7 and 8, right?
6 and 7.
6 and 7. Sorry.
What episode is 5 that the costumes, is that like when you first get to Falm?
That's
And see all the Shanshan costumes?
Yeah.
5 is when after Lanfear is stabbed by Moraine, right? That's the end of episode 4. Episode 5 is Lanfear wakes up.
She got her the dream. That's it. That's all you need to show is her.
Oh, the black
dream.
outfit.
Oh, that's her with the dream.
Yeah,
with
but I do
Ren.
think there's a lot of.
Is that the Kyrian ball, right? Is that the party in Kyrian?
No, that's episode.
Oh, that's before.
It's when the
Three.
girls get captured, episode 5.
Oh.
Yeah. You see a lot of the Shanshan stuff.
I'm so bad at this. Like, we don't even remember what the hell happened in these
I
episodes.
know. Well, not in each episode, but.
Episode 5 is, so we've got the cold open with the Sean Chen. We meet High Lord Torok. This is that scene where they're walking through Pat.
Yeah, it's the Sean Chen episode. You get you see what the Damane look like. You see what the Cavale look like.
Right.
Heron with Elias back at Altuan's mill. He goes back to bed. This is where Avienda appears.
The white cloaks.
You see the Aiel. You get it.
Heron frees
everybody.
Avienda.
It's definitely the costume episode.
Varen goes back to the White Tower. This is the shaky handwriting. There must be compulsion nonsense.
Right. So every section is featured. Every like group of people.
Right. This is Leander.
Right, and it closes it out with Lanfear. Lanfear on the chair. Because the end of that.
Yes, and the girls get captured. Right. Well, Elaine gets captured. Egwene gets captured. So interesting writing is for 206 and 208. So 206.
Yeah, 206 did not get enough nominations for me.
This is This is a Justin Jewel Gilmore, right? She wrote this episode.
Yeah. I think in 206. I think that it blows my mind that they didn't nominate this episode for acting.
Well, if you don't nominate
206
an
end
episode for acting, it's just
with the Rima Basan fight. Is that the end of 206 or 207? Because isn't that the end when it's cutting back and forth from them to Egwene?
Yes.
The water.
Yes, that's 206.
Yeah.
That's
the
206.
That's a great episode.
It is a very good episode. Tom, the acting, it's not an episode. It's just they nominate for actor. But
okay. Good,
but I'm sure, I think they send in clips, obviously. So I wouldn't surprise me if, obviously, they sent in for Zoe, they sent in her accepted test clips, and for Maddie, they sent in clips from this episode, I'm sure.
You just reminded me, I'm sorry, of another thing that the effects guy said when he was talking about Hopper dying. And he was like, yeah, we got a really good performance out of the dog. And then I put like blood pooling out of his head or something. And he was like, and when everyone watched it, everyone went, oh, and like gasped and groaned. And he was like, that's exactly the reaction I wanted.
Yeah. That guy was terrific.
He was really cool.
Yeah. So
sorry, that just reminded me of that.
Interesting though that episode 208 was submitted for writing, because I wouldn't consider that like one of the stronger episodes that was written, like writing wise. Like episode 203, maybe episode 204.
Yeah, but it has like the horn and the.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think
finale,
I think for
Man.
I think for people who aren't necessarily fans of the books, 208 is a really good episode of television.
I don't know though.
I think
if
for
I would say it
us,
was very written. I don't know. You're right. It's hard for me.
It wasn't the best written episode to me.
No,
I agree with you. I think
I would go 3, 4, or 6.
Yes,
or probably
4 has thirsty water, so that's definitely the best episode.
So those are all. So that's everything that was submitted. Obviously, they don't all get picked to be on the nomination.
Right.
So I'm not sure when they. So according to Geeky Area, she said that members of the Television Academy vote until June 24th, and the nominees will be announced on July 17th. So we'll be back, and we could talk about those announcements after they happen.
It'd be really cool if they got a couple of nominations.
One more. Cinematographer, episode 208 for Maya Zamoja.
Okay.
Cool.
So there was one
Again,
more.
I think the cinematographer. I do think the cinematography in that episode is great. Yeah, the costumes. If they don't get nominated for costumes, it's like it's someone's not looking at them.
Yes, they don't have eyes.
Right.
Just like the Fates.
But I would say this, even though the voting period is already done, I think that they're taking a far more active role in promoting the show, like in this manner, than they did at any point other than the rollout for season 1, I would say. And I think that part of that is like, it could be an announcement about, and season 4 is coming, or season 3 is going to get released at whatever point. Like this kind of, this all feeds into itself. And like part of promoting how good this season of television is showing how much we're invested in more seasons of the show.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just we're noticing it more now, but I feel like when all the events, like I know they were up for your consideration, but it'd be like all the Prime shows on like a bag, and it was on there. And I feel like in the past, it hasn't been like lumped in with like The Boys and Lord of the Rings. I feel like it's been like a secondary show, and now I feel like it's like more even.
Yeah, there was an event in LA at a mall where they Amazon, I think, set up like a whole like Prime experience type thing where they had like Fallout and some Wheel of Time and some other shows, and they had set up like a whole spectacle there as part of. I think that was also part of the promotion for all of this from some of their shows. So
I kept waiting for that to come to New York.
Yeah, it didn't. It wasn't. I think it was specifically for like industry.
Well, no, it's like we're not where the people who care, like who they're trying to sell. We're not there.
Yeah, it was open to the public.
Some of them
I
have
believe
apartments in New York. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm going to move on to a couple of social media posts that were actually from today. So the first one is from the aforementioned Sharon Gillam. I think we've said it many times. If you don't follow her on Instagram, Sharon Gillam Costume Design, follow her because she constantly posts stuff about the costumes. It's really cool, interesting stuff. So she's been posting about the different Aja like concept, inspirational costume concepts, like where she kind of is drawing some of her ideas for the costumes from. And she posted one today for the white Aja. And they're all dated from back in 2021. So this is like all stuff that they had been working on back then even. And the caption on the post was, "There might be a significant white Aes Sedai in season 3. or there might not. So, Tom, do you have any thoughts on who the significant white Aes Sedai could be?
There's only one significant white Aes Sedai. I'm sorry to all the other. It's not. I'm sorry, Carolinia, or whatever your name is.
Carolinia, yes.
Carolinia, yeah.
She is one of the Saladar 6, Carolinia.
She is one of the Saladar 6. She's solidly probably number 5 out of the Saladar 6, I would say. Or 6, 5 or 6 of them. The 6 of them. No, it's Alviarin, who is my weird crush. I'm very excited to see her. And for a long time, I didn't think, through season 1 and post season 1, I didn't think she was going to be on the show. I thought that they were going to make Leandrin that character. Rafe said definitively Leandrin is Leandrin. That's who she is. And like, that's great, because Alviarin, I think, is one of my favorite characters in the series.
We know that.
Yes.
And I will say that you're right. You were very much on the fence with this, but you were leaning towards the Alviarin and Leandrin combination. But this reminds me, we're going to have to do this soon. We're going to have to go through all of our season 3 new actors and try to, cast them again, like as pick who we think they're going to be. We did this for season 2, and then we went back and saw if we were right. I mean, we've got a bunch of new actors that we don't know who they're going to be. And if Alviarin's in season 3, we might already know the actor who's playing her.
Yeah. All right.
So there's potential there. There's potential for sure. So we'll have to revisit that. Yeah, I can't think of any other white Aes Sedai that this could be. There's, like I said, there's one other one. I can't remember if it's not Cien. Is it Cien?
Cien's not white. Is she?
There's two. Is it Saren? No, Saren's brown. Cien is white, though, I think. She's the one who's in the tower when Egwene goes back, and she kind of is. Is she the one who's leading the Black Aja?
Black Aja hunters, yeah.
I think she's white. I think that's Cien.
She is white.
Yeah, she
is. Oh, she's cool too. Okay. She's not Alviarin cool, but she's cool. She's
the only other white that I can think of that plays any kind of fairly significant role in the books. I'm sure there's others that we might be missing, but there's one who's with Rand, right? One of the ones that swears fealty to Rand.
But I don't know which one it is. Is Elsa?
No, she's a green or blue, I think, Elsa Penfell. She's also black, really, but
yes.
She's not, I don't think she's white. I think she's like a green or a blue. Yeah, I think we're getting Alviarin, but introducing Alviarin this early, especially with all the Black Aja stuff that we think is going on, right? There's all the Leandrin Black Aja stuff going on in her group. Do you think Alviarin is going to be part of that? And then maybe
I don't think you're going to find out she's black in this season.
Why can't she play her regular part? This is when she comes into the story.
Does she come in the fourth book? Book 3.
Yeah, she helps.
Book 4. Sorry.
Yes,
she starts like
she's
commiserating
part of the
with Elida.
Yeah, she's part of the crew. So that's probably her role, right? In this season, she's going to be part and parcel with the. Well, yeah, because if Elida overthrows, if that happens this season, then you'll see her as the keeper, right? She'll become the keeper.
It's happening this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that. Sorry.
That's right on line. The season's adapting Shadow Rising. That's when this happens, right? And Alviarin is the one who really, I think, gets in Elida's ear and makes Elida think that this is possible, right? Because the whites and the reds don't normally, work together, I think.
I would be very interested and excited to see if they just throw it in there, even if we don't get Masana, but I would love to meet Danelle.
Ooh.
Just for us.
Just for us? Yeah.
Just for us.
Yeah.
Just for us. That's all I'm saying. Just for us, Rafe.
Yeah.
And can I move on to the last social media post, or is there anything else you want to say about this white Aja or Aes Sedai?
No, but it was edited, right? So if you looked at it now, that's not.
No, that's what
I think hers was edited.
I just copied it right from there.
Yeah, so I think the original post said for season 3 and beyond. And it was edited.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
See, Instagram.
I'm gonna double check. I'm gonna double check exactly on that right now.
I don't
think to screenshot everything immediately.
Yes. So I'm gonna go to.
Doesn't say if it was. It doesn't show like that it was edited. It doesn't like indicate.
So I'm gonna go to Kevin Angus on X.
Oh, that's
who
right. He
took a screenshot.
That's right.
Right. There might be a significant white ice dye. Right. Hold on a second.
Maybe she added the or there might not. Maybe that was added. I don't know.
Yeah. And then hopefully a 4th season.
Oh, that was in there?
I believe so. I'm going to look again because I might be off base about this.
I'm looking.
I think that was the other post where it said.
That's the other post. That's the other post.
Yeah.
Keep going, and I'll come back to this if I'm.
Yeah, it's not
confirm if I'm crazy or not.
It's not in his screenshot. I just saw it. Okay. I just found it. Okay. It's not in his screenshot. So there was one other post on social media from our Tom Maryland, played by Alexander Viome. He posted a picture of himself in his Tom costume, it appears. I'm assuming this is a set photo from season 3. And he captioned his waiting for the 3 season, which I think he meant to say 3rd season. And then hopefully a 4th season, fingers crossed. And then I think it's like the peace sign, devil horn / peace sign. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rock on sign.
Well, that it's supposed to be like that. Right?
No, with the thumb out is the.
This is I love you.
That's right. With the thumb out is I love you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. At Wheel of Time, at Amazon Prime, # Tom Maryland, # actor. So, I don't know. It doesn't seem like he knows anything. He just seems like I don't know. I feel like he was like up one night scrolling through his phone pictures. It was like,
yeah.
And he got sentimental about this photo and was like, I'm going to post this.
He probably gets good engagement when he posts a Tom Maryland picture.
He probably does.
When everyone comments on it.
I feel like, I feel like this is not, it's not black smoke, but I feel like there's smoke out there, right? Over the last couple of weeks, as we kind of addressed in this episode, there's just these little hints of things to come. I don't know.
Yeah. Nothing definitive, just him kind of saying, waiting for the season, hoping there's a 4th. That's it. That's all. Nothing.
You think?
Nothing to see here.
No, see, this is the one because Kevin screenshotted and it said, waiting for the 3rd season and then the 4th season.
Oh. Yeah.
And he changed it to, and then hopefully the 4th season. I mean, it doesn't mean that it's definite, but he threw the word hopefully in there. So like,
right. There was an edit.
We wouldn't think he knew anything. He doesn't, just because he says he's waiting for the 4th season doesn't necessarily mean anything, but that's the change.
That's not all he changed, Jen. He changed the emojis as well.
Oh, he did change the emojis. He just said, what were the emojis that he had in the one you read?
In the current post, it's a fingers crossed, the love symbol.
Oh, so in this one, it's a crying, laughing emoji only. No fingers crossed.
Yeah.
In the original.
I think he meant it. I think the meaning was the same in both posts, but I think maybe either somebody said something to him and was like, that's a little too, people are going to think that a 4th season is coming, so change it. I think his like laughing face emoji was kind of like, I don't know if a 4th season is coming.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I hope
either,
so.
But yeah, so.
A study of emojis. Anywho.
Emojis mean things. There's a language of emojis.
Yeah, it's the language of the world.
It is. All cultures, all languages.
So that is all I have for today. Is there anything else that I missed or any final comments that you wanted to make before we wrap it up here?
No, I don't think we missed anything. I'll say this. I said it on my on our Discord earlier this week, and it's a conversation that I think that we're having over there. My mind is changed about season 3, and I really do think that that what I poo-pooed in many a prior conversation is going to be what it is, and that Matt and the girls are going to start season 3 of the Tower.
Yeah. Do you want to say why you wanted to bring that up, Tom?
No, I think. Well, I'll say this.
Join our Discord to find out why.
Yeah, I think that so the conversation about that, someone brought up. This is what really I think changed my mind the most. Somebody brought up that Rafe had said that he was working on a version of Matt having the fight with Gowan and Gilad.
Yeah.
And that was something that he had mentioned in an interview, and obviously that didn't happen in season 2 in any way. And I think that that is I think that there's only one place to do that, and one opportunity to do that. And we know that Gowan and Gilad are in this season. Well, we know Gilad is in this season. We think that Gowan's in this season too. And
watch John's.
Tom's looking for any excuse to bring back his favorite character.
Watch What Up's video about this. He just recently did a video about Gowan and Gilad. And I think part of the conversation was about how Callum Kerr was listed on his CV as Gilad Trackend, and I think we talked about that a while.
Yeah, we did a while ago. Yeah.
Did he, the change of the name? And then the what you're referring to, Tom, is when John from What Up asked Rafe in one of those AMAs about the scene with the quarterstaff, Matt beating the crap out of the two of them with the quarterstaff, and Rafe said, quote, "This is an iconic scene from the book, and we are building to a believable version of it in the show. Hopefully, ha." And then, some time later, Kiki Ari posted in our Discord that she thinks, spoiler alert, giving people a second there to turn it off if they want. Matt will be in the tower at the beginning of season 3, she thinks. And when Kiki Ari has a strong hunch, it's usually right.
Yes.
Which again goes in line with our thoughts that, and Jen, I think you were on the same path as me, that the girls are gonna, Elaine and Egwene, or maybe not Elaine. No, it makes sense. All 3 of them are gonna be back at the tower.
So how does Egwene then get to the waist?
I think there's a possibility that Egwene isn't there.
I think she is there. I think she's you're right. Last we talked about it, I said maybe Egwene doesn't go. Maybe just Elaine and Nynaeve go, and then they get sent to Tenchiko with the black to find the Black Aja. So that's quite possible. Although we think that Egwene might have her accepted test, because that chamber, Rafe said that they're going to use that chamber room again. So
Jen, do you feel like you want
to? Rand and Elaine's whole relationship is that moment on top of the tower.
Yes, that's it. That's all they get. We'll have to wait, Jen. We'll have to wait. Waffo.
No, there's only 8 seasons. We can't wait. What?
Jen, I have a very important question to ask you.
Go ahead.
Do we have any new patrons to thank?
Oh, we do. I guess I'm done. We do have we have an upgraded patron. So we'd like to thank Benjamin Andiar for upgrading from Illuminators Guild to the Company of Chelvannon.
Ooh, thanks, you, Benjamin. That's a good move. That's a smart move. Ben now gets access to early episode access to the early episode releases, and also to monthly bonus content.
Wow, the bonus content is stellar. I'm just going to leave it at that.
You know what?
No,
it's as good as anything else we do.
It was it was a half kidding.
Oh, I thought I thought you were being very genuine about that.
No,
I believe it is.
It did not sound sincere. It sounded.
It is. It's actually probably more entertaining than a regular show.
No, well, maybe it is. Yeah, you're right.
Because we have more fun with it. So join Patreon and listen to those too.
Listen to some of the bonuses. And if you join now, right?
Join right now. There's only 5 slots left.
You get 4 years worth of bonus content. So you get the whole back catalog of bonus content. So that's like 40 something episodes, basically. So if you
1-800 talk around Riyadh. Call now. Operators are standing by.
I want to remind everyone to follow us on social media. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Join us over in Discord to continue the conversation there, and you'll also get some insights from Geeky Harry. We also post our episodes on YouTube, so go to our YouTube page and be sure to like and subscribe there. Rate and review us wherever you listen to podcasts, and check out our merchandise and Patreon pages to support us that way. I think I mentioned this a few episodes ago, but we do have a new shirt out there in honor of Galena Casban, so go ahead and order your the Casban line t-shirt while it's still available. Links to all the aforementioned information are included in the show notes to this episode. Final thoughts, Jen, Tom?
We are going to be taking a hiatus.
We're taking a short hiatus.
For like a week or maybe two due to vacations. And
so we're going to be releasing one of the aforementioned Patreon bonus episodes, an old one, next week, because Jen will be away and we can't 4th of July, so it's really hard to and then the week after that is WatCon, so we just probably won't be releasing anything that week. So
I just wanted to say happy 4th to all our American listeners. Happy birthday, America.
That's
and
right. If you're British, suck it.
You can go back and listen to Tom's moving reimagination of Bill Pullman's speech in the movie Independence Day.
The greatest American president, Bill Pullman.
Tom, maybe there's another speech you can do from a movie that's kind of patriotic that we can release.
I'll sing something from 1776.
Yeah, or maybe you can sing like Yankee Doodle Dandy or something.
I was thinking the same thing. Real great minds.
I will 100% sing Yankee Doodle Dandy.
You could maybe do a scene from the movie with Jimmy Cagney. It's one of my dad's favorite movies.
It's a good movie.
He watches it every 4th of July.
It's a good movie.
Yeah. Anyway, if you're still listening, thanks. And you'll hear us next time.